Hey kids, excuse me. A little something unusual for 31 days of Halloween. Uh, I went to a showing of Little Shop of Horrors. This is at Meadowbrook Theater on the campus of Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan. Uh, if you're local, you know, check it out. It was excellent. Great production. Uh, Theater small. Uh, no bad seat in the house. Trust me. Uh, I want to go over. Well, we know the plot line. If you know, most of what I'm reviewing, I've never seen before. I've never seen the stage production. In this case, I've actually never seen the original Roger Corman directed movie. I think that's 1960 or something. I might have it in the multi-pack one of these days. I might check it out. But I did see the uh, filmed version of the musical stage play directed by Frank Oz, starring Rick Moranis. Uh, so this kind of counts as something I have never seen before. It's actually been probably about 20 years since I've actually saw a stage play. Uh, that was a one-woman show with Kathleen Turner uh, playing Tahula Bankhead, uh, called simply Tahula. Tahula, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, but but so it was kind of a shock to the system to be able to see not only a play but a musical stage play. It's been decades since I've actually saw a musical stage play. Uh, this particular performance, uh, Seymour is usually played by this Tim Dolan. Not quite sure why he wasn't there. Uh, and this was on October 7th, on a Friday. By the way, this video should be dropping on Sunday. Uh, but it was this Antonio Vedatrino or something. I'm sorry. I apologize if you see this. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Uh, uh, the girl scanning tickets in my aisle is friends of hers, and there was a ton of people in the audience that were obvious friends of him. The cheering for his name and and such. Uh, well, we have some desperate people living on Skid Row, uh, orphaned Seymour was taken in by a florist who owns a florist on Skid Row called Mr. Mushkin or Mushnick, and he's played by Chip Duford. I'm gonna show pictures of these individuals. Wow, he really looks different in the picture than he does on stage. But let me, the understudy, uh, Antonio, let's see. Antonio's an understudy not just for Seymour, but Mr. Nick Oren, who is the evil dentist in the plot. Uh, Audrey 1, the human Audrey, who is played by Kathy Kujala. Kujala? I think this young lady is actually from the town that I live in right now. Uh, I did think I read that somewhere. Uh, but yeah, she's dating. Well, Seymour works in the flower shop, and business is crap. Uh, he's in love with the young woman Audrey, though she's dating this abusive dentist, and she doesn't believe that she deserves anybody better. Seymour had been experimenting with plant life, and he got some clippings from a Chinese individual, and it grew into what he calls Audra 2, or Audrey 2. And he eventually finds out that blood will make it grow, so his fingers are usually bandaged and such, and it finally ends up making itself known. It starts talking and demanding more blood and more quantity. So, since the inclusion of Audrey 2 to the shop starts selling loads. So, the business gets a lot better. Seymour starts being interviewed and becoming kind of famous. And, well, things get really complicated when he decides to finally get rid of the evil dentist by feeding him to Audrey, too. And it just kind of starts escalating from there. The songs were great. I didn't remember everything, but the place that's green, that's Kathy Kujala. That's her. I think that might be her only solo vocals. She's quite good, and there's backing vocals from the young ladies on the street. Ronette, played by Sade Crosby. Crystal, played by Mika King. Clifton, played by Destiny Williams. And they were excellent. They actually opened up the show. They're kind of like a Greek chorus with some parts, interactions, more interaction than I guess probably most Greek choruses. I'm going to be showing pictures in a second. Okay. Cutting now. Here we go. Okay. Tamara Della Anderson is actually Audra 2. Excellent singer. She does a great part. Let's see. Tyler. Who is Tyler? Oh, yeah. Tyler is actually the puppeteer of the pup. Well, he does the big puppet. I know that Antonio does a smaller version of it. There's Kathy Kujala, Mika King, Ms. Crosby, and Ms. Williams are the street folks. Let's see who else we got here. Tim Dolan's supposed to be was supposed to be Seymour, but it was this young man here. He was excellent, and if you know, this is the understudy, you know. This guy might either equal or better. I can't really say. Now, I want to talk about, well, this is, he looks so much older on stage. That's what, you know, makeup does for you. This guy here, Dan Feenaughty. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, but I looked up this guy actually plays, he plays Orn and others. And others means about 8 people. He plays most of the cast. This is the young man's website. I had to look it up because this guy's just, he's great at what he does. Excellent singer. He plays 3 characters in one sequence. He's trying to get Seymour to sign contracts. You know, one is a man, the next one is a woman, and then another man. He starts out the show as the bum. Eventually, he's the guy who enters the establishment because of the interesting and strange plant in the window. And of course, he's the dentist, as well as 1 or 2 other people. Here's all the type of stuff he does. He's a New York actor. He played Gomez. He appears to be extremely tall, but I could be mistaken. He probably was taller than everybody else in the cast. But this guy is quite impressive. Yeah, the puppetry was great. The set design, the way they changed locations simply by doing a curtain. You know, that they went to the dentist office, and all they really did was put the curtain down, and you end up having something generic in the background covering up the shop, and then you have a dentist office, or you have the street. Actually, the street they didn't necessarily have to hide the shop with the street. It's really well done. This is the way to see it. The movie was fun, but there's really nothing like seeing a live performance, you know, people acting and singing and dancing and everything. Highly recommend it if you are local for this production. I wouldn't mind seeing it with the regular guy too, just to compare, because Antonio was really good. He was really good, and I would love to see, you know, switching over and such. But in general, I think any production of this has to be fun to see, and this was very fun. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. I figure I can't take pictures or video during the performance, but I would have liked to have, you know, the curtain call, which is always fun to watch, you know. Well, that's it for this Sunday's 31 Days of Halloween. Until tomorrow, stay safe and always have a good time. I know.